Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're discussing a couple of things. One, which I thought might work, which we will discuss first and foremost to get this kind of out of the way. This little guy here, when fighting together, it becomes easier to encounter pals with the same passive skills as this pal. I have gone through and caught probably about 30-40 pals, something to that degree, and this is very inconsistent. And on top of that, it is not giving me the ones that I thought it would give me. I'm currently running on that in particular one, and I have maxed him out. He is full everything. He is running Ferocious, Musclehead, Lucky, and Legend. So, unfortunately, it does not work with Lucky and Legend. I didn't see any Lucky or Legend pop out on anything out of all the pals that I caught. The only ones that I did see come out was Ferocious and Musclehead, and there was only one, I think, out of the 30 that gave me the 2. So, this was the first one that I caught, absolutely nothing, and I thought it'd be good to do this on the Meteor guys because you can't really breed Legend into them, so if that was an ability that you could do with that dog, that would be pretty cool, but unfortunately it does not work that way. All of these guys here, including this guy, he had Musclehead, Ferocious, Musclehead and Ferocious. He actually got both of them. Swift, Musclehead, Hooligan, Easygoing, Swift, Hooligan. This one had a Musclehead. You got a blank. One had Musclehead. Lucky and Ferocious because this was a Lucky Dirt Turkey. Musclehead. Nothing, 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 literally. This one came with 2 of them. Nothing, nothing. Ferocious, Ferocious. Musclehead. Nothing, nothing. Ferocious, Musclehead. Ferocious and Musclehead. So that was one that actually came with 2 of them. Nothing, 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 and nothing. So that is actually inconsistent enough for me to actually consider that to be worth it as far as the partner skill goes. As far as his overall strength, not too bad. After fully maxing him out, we are at 15 attack power, and I'm not sure if he spawns anywhere else on the map. We'll check the PAL deck. I don't think that he does. I think it's only in the higher area. But yeah, he's only found in the higher PAL area, I believe. We will double check here. But for him to have this ability, you would think that that would be something that would be extremely useful to be able to do that, to be able to catch pals with the extra stuff on there. But yeah, they're only in the small area here, the new island, which is level 45 to 55 stuff. So at that point in time, unfortunately, his partner skill overall is not really worth it. Fighting capabilities, he does have one really strong ability with the Holy Burst and Airblade. Airblade's not too bad, but Holy Burst is really strong. That's the same as the Moon dude has, and this thing is pretty gnarly. For a 120 skill, this thing hits like a truck. But regardless, the simple fact that it's supposed to have this in particular stuff, the Birds of a Feather, it is not what I was thinking it would be, unfortunately. So, because that would be really cool if you could take and breed up some of those dogs and had like Celestial Emperor and went to hunt down the Moon guy, or had the new passive that's going to be on the Blazemut and hunt down the new guy, which I'm not sure which that one's going to be. But yeah, so unfortunate for that. Kind of stuck with what you got. Otherwise, something else of note, the Meteors. We have found out yesterday a bit of a consistency. When it comes to the new island, the Moon character, the new one that's the tower boss, is the one that spawns up there from the Meteors, and usually it'll be on this lower side or the back side. Those are the only 2 times that I've seen it, and I've seen it about 3 or 4 times. When it comes to this crazy looking dude, I've only found him on the Meteors on the volcano side. I haven't seen anything else spawn over there on the volcano side, so there is a consistency of him spawning specifically on Meteors that are dropping in the volcano. When it comes to the one that I don't have, making a judgment call here, basis off of the consistencies of what has gone on with the Meteors, since it is a dark type pal, I think it only comes in on like meteors that come at night. So if you spawn over somewhere at night and that meteor comes in, and that's when you'll find them. I could be wrong. I've had reports from other people that have said that they've been over here near the original mining base, the OG, and they've caught them over here. I've also had another person report that they caught one over in the lava as well. So I think that one could be random, but I think, I didn't ask them yet, but it could have been at night when they caught them. And if you yourself have caught that other one and you caught it and you could note the time, let me know in the comments below, please and thank you. I would greatly appreciate the knowledge. Moving on to some other information. As you can see, I've got the new armor. I've also got the new shield and the new helmet. These are all really good. Great for defense. The carry capacity increases a definite benefit. Unfortunately, it does not have enough heat or cold resistance to do away with the heat resistance of the multicam or multi-climate. When it comes to the hyper glider, it is a better glider, but it's still not better than Gale Claw. So not a big fan of that, but I mean, it's useful to have on your body, but it is an added 25 pounds. So if you're using a Gale Claw, I wouldn't bother with it, but if you're not, then it's something that is useful. When it comes to the guided missile launcher, very good. I like it. You aim, fires, it reloads pretty quick, and the explosion is more condensed versus with the big rocket launcher where it's quite a sizable explosion and more damage. But this one, all in all, not too bad. It does work, and it helps out a lot, especially on the oil rig, as we found out yesterday. The minigun, or Gatling gun, very, very useful. I like this thing a lot. Ammo's not too bad to make. It's PAL ingots and gunpowder, so that's not too bad. So one thing with a lot of the stuff that is going on with the newer weapons is that when it comes to its ammunition, it is expensive. The rockets themselves cost crude oil, so it's hard to justify that, but if you're able to go over to the oil rig, I did find 100 rockets in a chest. There is that. I have not used the new grenade yet. I have not used the new flamethrower or the grenade launcher, so we will be talking about that in the next video after I played around with them a little bit. But I'm thinking that the grenade launcher might be a little bit better than the salvo, because of the simple fact that this costs circuits and crude oil plus PAL metal ingots. So if you haven't been grinding PAL metal ingots, then yeah, you might be screwed on this as far as getting enough ammunition to use it with enough validity. Even the flamethrower costs crude oil just to make the ammunition. But as we said, the Gatling gun, we have PAL metal and gunpowder, so not too big of a deal, especially with the ability to put in the new sulfur bind. When it comes to the laser rifle, it's not bad, but I feel like if we were to get the legendary version of this, it might actually stand up. But again, the ammunition's kind of expensive because it still requires, I think, gunpowder, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check this so I'm not talking out of my butt. It might not. Okay, no, it costs PAL metal ingots though. And instead of the gunpowder, it is electric organs. Electric organs you can buy, so the ammunition's not too bad, but it's still kind of expensive when it comes to the PAL metal or the PAL ingots. This new ring I ended up finding, I think they drop off of Quivering Botan, because I think that's where I found it. This gives you +2 to your carrying, or a level 3, which is a +2 to your carrying capacity, which without it, it's about a 200-pound increase roughly. Yeah, exactly, 200-pound increase. So that's not bad. Decent little ring just to be able to slap on and be able to carry a little bit more stuff. Other things, as far as knowledge, there has been a video floating around. Person's name that has figured out this is the PAL Professional. He is on YouTube. He did not explain it very well on how to actually do this, but you can put 2 oil pumps on the same oil thing. It's a bit difficult to do so because, like I said, I haven't really been grinding out too much of these. I did the ones that I needed for, and I got them everywhere on a bunch of bases. But specifically, you can do this. It's just really difficult to get the angling right on it. Best place that I can show it is probably on this one. Oh, I think I found it. All right. So I'm pretty sure this is the spot. He was talking about looking for a specific crack of it, but realistically, when you're looking at a lot of these things, you can't really see where the crack is on the side. Some of them are buried too deep. So what I have been talking about doing instead, in order to find this, the way that I have been finding it, to keep it away from that dead center as far as possible, is basically start in the middle and start rotating and keeping this yellow bar here that you can see at the bottom, that's like that caution bar. Try to keep it as far away from the middle hole as possible. Like, we're talking about like inches. Put it down and then back up from this area. And boom. So yeah, 2 of them. I do not have my Anubis on me. But yeah, the way that he had explained it was basically trying to find a certain area of the exterior, but because you can't really find the exterior that easily on some of them, I find it easier to just do that. You basically start in the middle and start to kind of rotate around and keeping that yellow bar as far away from the center as possible. And then once you find it, put it down and then back straight up, and then it'll let you put down the second one. Again, this is very finicky. I've already done it a couple times and it takes a little bit to get done, but it's possible. And again, thank you, Mr. The Pal Professional, from one fanatic to a professional, for putting out that video. A little hard to understand, but ended up figuring it out. Next up onto the agenda, oil rig. So there's a couple ways of going about this, but the main thing that you're looking for is chests. There's a couple of Reddit posts that say that there's like 3 chests that can spawn there, large chests, but that's not the case. I went through and cleared out the whole thing 3 times yesterday, or over the course of a couple of Pal World days, and managed to get 1 chest each time as far as the big chest. But then if you search pretty decently hard, you can find the rest of the smaller ones, which they still have stuff in them as well, the purple chests that are around there. So don't write those off. Go ahead and open them. They're well worth it. But when it comes to the entry, that can be kind of a problem. If you don't have a jet wagon with speed on it, get one. Now is the time to do so. And if I might suggest, if you haven't gotten one, instead of putting nimble on here, then try to breed for infinite stamina, and boom, now you're really cooking with gas. One thing that I will suggest as well is probably avoid any usage of any pals. You might as well Godfin stack yourself and then bring the jet wagon, because you're going to need the firepower, and having more firepower over there is going to be a lot easier because you're dealing with a lot of higher level pals that get thrown out by the bosses, and especially the syndicate minigun guys. They are a force to be messing with. They hit hard. Same with the flamethrowers, and they have a lot of health, so it's going to be easier to crack down on that. The AR isn't bad to use for it. I would suggest using the rocket launcher or some sort of explosive as backup. Shotgun's not bad to use. Whatever, pick your poison. You can get with it and try to get it done. But entry specifically, when you're moving towards this, you'll hear that. Hit the jets and start moving very quickly. And try to avoid being hit by those things by all costs, because they will melt anything. I personally like to start on this end. And as you can see with the gob fins, we can kind of burn through these guys pretty quickly. So some things to note as well. There's a couple of different places that I believe the chests can spawn. They are usually guarded by the big guys here. As you can see him right there. And I usually like to take him out from this side or rocket launch him, because there's a lot of explosives over there, so he usually... Well, now he's not taking any damage. There he goes. Oh, nope, that was another one hidden over there. Because of the rocket launcher's heat-seeking abilities, this is where it comes into play really well, because you can shoot over top and kind of arc the shot. And don't worry about the bigger miniguns. They're not too dangerous. They hit like a wet napkin, and on top of that, they're inaccurate, so... But yeah, right here, this is where one chest can be, and this is where it is this time. And this is really what you're looking for. This is where all your goodies are going to be coming from. Well, no, I did get a blueprint. It's a rocket launcher 4, though, and I already have that. And I got a little bit of oil, and I got a flamethrower schematic level 1. But yeah, the new rocket launcher's pretty good. I like it a lot. Very useful. Like I said, I really love the minigun. Like I said, don't scoff at these. They give coin, they'll give a little bit of oil, they'll give the lotus plants. But yeah, that's one of the places that it spawns. Another place that I can guarantee that it spawns as well is over here by this other big guy. So That's where my theory does come into play, that there is a likelihood that it is going to be near any of the big syndicate guys. Usually it would be in this corner right there. Yeah, even the gold AR works really well. So, I mean, you're not going to be at a loss if you're not using the newer weapons by any means. But I would suggest be armed to the teeth when you come over here. The only other place that I saw that it could be is right over here in this little area as well. And once you get right under these guns, they're not hard to take out. You can also take out those things as well. Not too bad of a run if you're stacked up and got some decent health going. But yeah, I believe that this might be another room that it might spawn in. Oh, I got shredded. But yeah, you can see that it's quite a difficult run. Nonetheless, trying to think if there's anything else that I could think of that I may have not mentioned that I've found out so far. Well, as honorable mention at least, which those of you who knew, you know, but those of you who didn't, Shadowbeak and numerous other pals as well have gotten either another or exclusives that they've gotten as far as their powers. Now, Shadowbeak was already pretty beefy when it came to Divine Disaster. I mean, this is just a absolute wrecking machine when it comes down to it. But now he has Divine Disaster too. Which is just even more devastating. So definitely be on a lookout for that. 55 is the new cap, so some of those might not come up till then. That's the way it was with him. And yeah, so far the new ball in comparison to the legendary sphere, the ultimate sphere, I don't see too much of a difference. There is a little bit, but crafting the ultimate sphere versus crafting the legendary sphere, you could just throw these like way more often, especially if you've been grinding them out from mucho dinero in the first place. But that's pretty much all I got for right now. We will be doing, I guess, a more corrective deep dive on this little guy in the next video and possibly adding some more stuff in here. But like I said, with the partner ability, I thought that maybe this would be something to where you could maybe like get some passive skills that you wouldn't usually see out in the wild, but that's not the case. It's just not consistent enough either with the other ones. Would I consider this to be that good? And I was kind of excited about that, but all in all, if we're honest to this, then yeah, it's not really worth it to use that. Unless you're looking for specifics, then yeah, that could be useful. But even with that, we showed there was 40 pals that I caught roundabout between this guy and on down is all the ones that we caught, and there was just nothing really there to write home about, unfortunately. Also, the previous breeding calculator that I was using prior is not updated, not even since the last big update with Bella Noir. So I will be dropping in the description of this video the new site that I've been using, so you guys can get on that one. And it is up to date and it's pretty useful, pretty clean cut, very straightforward. So yeah, if you guys enjoy my content, drop a sub. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. And as always, write down in the comments down below what your favorite new pal is. Not out of the old ones, but what's your favorite new one. Other than that, keep your willy washed and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.